That's Burnett.
Hey, what's going on, people? Sonny Burnett in the place to be. Kicking back on a Sunday afternoon. Had a nice long ride in some unseasonably warm weather. Took a ride from work all the way home. So, got a call yesterday for a little emergency this morning. I decided to volunteer to go, and the first thing to do then was to drive out to the shop and grab a vehicle and some tools last night. Took the vehicle home, which saved me at least 45 minutes early this morning. Drove straight to the job site, worked a couple hours, headed back, grabbed a Subway, sat at my desk in the quiet, empty shop, and then promptly laid down and took a bit of a nap. An awesome luxury available when you have keys to the building and a couch in your office. And no, I was not on the clock. So after that, got my constitution up, dicked around a little bit longer, drank some water, and hit the road for about a 10-mile ride. So the beginning of this ride you've seen before in a previous video where I headed from my parents' house to work and my girlfriend's, but about a third of the way into the journey I'm going to divert because I'm going to start going in a different direction towards River Grove. So here we are at church in Irving, and this is where I would normally just stay on church now that they have the nice new bike path. Well, that doesn't take me where I need to go because I need to go east, and the only way to go east with O'Hare Airport in the way, your only options are Green Street and Grand. Now I live on Grand, so obviously that would be a good route, but you're going to encounter substantially more traffic there. Green Street, especially on a Sunday, you're going to have almost no traffic, which is great, but some of the road is in pretty poor condition. There you can see the plane flying east right now, going in for a landing. So here we are, headed towards the Bensenville Metro Station. I think they call this Main Street. It doesn't run very long, just goes to York Road. And here we are now on Green Street, headed up to York Road. This idiot pulled out in front of me, causing me to get in the intersection during the red light. And now it's off to the races. You're going to have very few stops if you take this route, and it's smooth for a very good portion of the beginning. It's only further in that it starts to get pretty tore up and ugly. Got some nice abandoned businesses here and some other shady looking factories and such. Alright, here we're coming up again eastbound on Green at County Line Road. Did a little prediction on that stale red light. Now up ahead there's a little train bridge which they just rebuilt maybe 5 years ago because the old one had two major issues. First issue was it was built with a very narrow opening, so you had about a foot on each side of the roadway before you hit the bridge. Now, certainly they don't give a crap about a guy on a bike, and I can just take a lane if I need to. But it was a little bit tight for cars. If two cars came through opposite directions at the same time, that was a little tight. The second problem was it was totally crumbling and falling apart, so they totally built a new one and widened it while they were at it, which is nice. On the right there, some kind of a MC, motorcycle club, tattoo shop, and there's a whole lot of nothing, as you can see. It was a good day for a ride. Again, really nice to take this route on a Sunday. So here is the new train bridge. You can see, state of the art. Here we are at Wolf Road, passing Wolfie's, a restaurant slash diner that I've always been intrigued with and never been in my entire life. Used to be a place up here that I would go to get my work boots because they sold Knapp work shoes, and I would get these awesome steel toe Oxfords, and they were like the only distributor around. Not there anymore. So now we got the Bensenville Canadian Pacific hump yard there on the left. Now we're coming up on Mannheim, and this is a little bit of unplanned road construction, which makes it pretty hectic for me. Luckily, there were no cars that wanted to pass me, because there would have been no room for that to happen with a truck right there, and I can't go any further right. So once this new asphalt ended, I decided to make an executive decision and get the hell out of there before I did have a car in my ass. You see they got all the shipping containers piled up, going on and off of the trains. Some fancy big new warehouse on the right. And there's just a stop sign and a quick little turn that'll take you onto Mannheim Road. That's not where we're going. We're just going to keep on heading eastbound. Probably 80% of this trip was on green. So now I don't know if this is still called green here anymore. I think we're now into what they would call Franklin Avenue, because I'm out of Bensonville and into Franklin Park, and this is all factories. Really quiet, no one around on a Sunday, but this is where the road gets really bad. Until I hit Ruby up ahead. As you can see, I'm nowhere near the curb at this point because it's treacherous. I should have just pointed the GoPro down so you could see some of these pits that you will not only blow your tire but break your whole wheel probably. Now that guy's a real asshole, doing about 50. Here we are in kind of downtown Franklin Park, an area I've spent plenty of time in. Mexican grocery store. We got some new condos up there on the left. There's a little jewelry store. I've been in there once. A joyeria, as the Mexicans would call it. Mexican bakery. And then you got Bell's Liquors coming up ahead. Here's a taqueria I haven't been in since high school. Franklin Park Metro Station is there just on the left, out of sight. Here's Bell's bar and tap room. Haven't been in either in a minute. So here at the last minute I decided to divert. Now I realized I was feeling pretty beat down. My nap didn't fully work, and I was really sweaty and I was really dirty from work, and I hadn't showered even before I left. So all I wanted to do was go home, take a shower, turn in the AC, and vegetate for the rest of the day and night. So I knew I needed two things for that, which was cold drinks and also coffee for tomorrow morning, because I was out of beans. Got plenty of food for dinner and lunch and breakfast tomorrow, but no coffee. So as I had been biking, I had been trying to determine where I wanted to divert to, and I decided to go to Rich's, which is sort of on Belmont, Thatcher Woods. It's my neighborhood grocery store. So I went a little bit out of the way, but not much. Here we are on Belmont now, eastbound River Road. So it gets a little bit treacherous through here because there's really no shoulder. You go from road to grass. So these cars definitely need to go around me, and a couple guys buzzed me pretty hard. But what are you going to do? That's the life I've chosen, I guess. Really some terrible treacherous potholes up here ahead that I deftly swerved around and just shook my head like, wow. I mean, I don't know. Even a car would have trouble if he put his wheel in there. So here we just passed Thatcher, and here's Thatcher Woods up on the right. I'm going to follow that little black or blue SUV and swerve right on in here. At this point I had it. I just wanted to get home. Pretty tired of biking, pretty tired of feeling dirty, tired of sweating, tired of everything. Just wanted to sit. But I had to make my stop. There's this Jaguar. This guy just roasted right through a stop sign. And he just had a smile on his face, old fella. Yeah, didn't even know I was there. Funny thing is, as I locked up here and then I went to walk in, and he was walking in at the exact same moment as me. And I'll admit, I have perhaps an anger problem, but the older I get, I realize I learned to check myself internally and remind myself, you're just pissed off. You want to blame this guy for all your problems, or this person. but really you're just mad at the world right now. So of course I didn't do or say anything, but yeah, it made me furious. Whatever. So at this point, we're headed down south on Thatcher, back towards Grand, so I can get the hell off the road. Yeah, it was about, I think we probably hit 85, which is a bit warm for mid-September. A little bit of that global warming kicking in. Yeah, it's funny, even backwards I could tell where I'm at. So yeah, that was Thatcher. Now here we are. It was a stop in traffic, so I took advantage of that and swerved through everybody. And just a couple more turns, and I'm home. This first block has some nasty bumps, and I ride this at night. There's no street lights, and I kind of know when they're going to come from experience, but it's still jarring. Oh yeah, some good ones. Pretty much smooth sailing from here on out. Just a couple more blocks. Until I hit home sweet home, hang up the bike, and call it a night at 4 p.m. Already drank myself a pretty big carton of grapefruit juice, and I've got a carton of Tim Bark apple mint, if you're familiar with such a thing, which I'm going to get into shortly. Maybe just have a glass of water. I'm feeling a bit dehydrated. Yep, so I'm at this, as of the end of this ride, which is as of this second, I'm 2 miles short of my all-time annual goal, which was 1,455 miles in a year. So I'm right now at 1,453. So tomorrow I will set my new record, just biking to work, and onwards and upwards from there. Let's see where I can go the rest of 2018. Get a little glimpse of things in here. My humble abode. And that's it, folks. Sonny Burnett calling it a day. Oh boy, go get yourself some grapefruit juice and relax. Stay out of the heat, but get on that bike, you lazy bastard. That's it. Signing off. Check you later.